very difficult on set.
The rumors are all true.
There's a lot of friction with the cast and crew.
Yeah.
And then you also demanded rewrites that you be in every single scene in the movie.
Yeah, I actually think I think the only rewrites I demanded was that I would not begin every single scene.
Any comments on working with Chris or working with Maggie?
Well, Chris Lowell is an extraordinary human being, let alone actor. He was on, what was so great was that even though we had long days and 6-day weeks, Chris was always there at the same time as anybody else and never.
Yeah, Maggie and I arrived on set together and left set together.
So as long as you had your apples covered with peanut butter.
Yeah, that was my breakfast every morning. I think that sort of the superhero-ness of Maggie Kiley, aside from just just conceiving this whole thing and it being your first film and it being 18 days in New York when you had just given birth and were literally breastfeeding in between takes. Not a joke. It would literally be like, we'd be shooting and be like, we can hear the breast pump. I mean, there was one moment I feel like that was just like iconic guerrilla filmmaking moment. We were shooting in some, we hit every borough. Here's what it was. We were deep in Queens and we were coming to Harlem. And so I was in the back seat of our first 80s Corolla. In between is two kids seats. And Maggie was in the front seat pumping. And it was the most normal thing in the world. No one even bat an eye. Rambling on the car his little seatbelt went up. And okay, let's go to Harlem. Because shooting that convenience store where we're making the sandwiches, which we didn't have enough money or permits to actually close down, so there were people just coming in ordering food from me, which is, I feel bad for them. It was
Actually,
great.
So Union Square, you guys closed that down, correct?
Yeah, we obviously got the rights for Union Square, not a chance.
There was a lot of run and gun. The subway. Actually, just remembered, my hand is in the subway. It was my one, because we went on the subway illegally.
At 4 in the morning. And we're like, hopefully no cops will get on. The first stop.
Huge camera.
Yeah, we're shooting on 35mm with a big battery pack, so it's the most conspicuous thing in the world.
They'll take your they'll throw you in jail evidently.
So literally, we get on the train, it's 4 a.m., no one's there. We're like, this is great. We all hop on, we're feeling all great. The first stop, a police officer steps on. I think he was so tired. And he didn't do,
he sort of went like this and turned this. That was sweat, yeah.
All right, I got a question for the writers and the director. I'll start with Matthew. Here's my question. What would you say was is there any scene, or for both of you, I guess, that stayed from the very initial, from the genesis, from the first draft to what's on screen? Is there anything that made it all the way, would you say?
The Thanksgiving scene, I feel was just written like that, and it was shot perfectly and acted perfectly. Everything about that was exactly how I saw it on the paper when I wrote it. Yeah. So I feel like that, and that was like a first draft. Just the idea of the father-in-law asking you, do you have anything to tell me?
Right.
And not knowing what he's asking. That's pure fear. I don't know, I think that, for me, that was the one I remember.
Yeah.
It was just like that.
Yeah. I can't remember. Definitely that one tonight too stood out to me as one that really.
Well, yeah, I feel like that was just how we.
This has always been there.
Because I know the ones that we were writing in between takes.
Yeah.
Literally trying to figure it out while you guys were, everything was getting prepped for the day. So.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? So Maggie, what would you say?
How did I know you were going to end up moderating the Q&A?
Yeah.
Who's going to moderate? I was probably Chris.
What would you say was the most challenging scene to shoot? What would you say? When were you take it back. When were you the most stressed on set? Was it when those people came home while we were shooting in their apartment? There was the police officers on the subway. When would you say you were most
I think the very first night. The first day of shooting was an overnight shoot on Halloween.
That's in a moving vehicle. It's like if you sat down and tried to write, what would be the hardest thing to shoot? It was like, okay, well, we'll shoot it on Halloween. at night in a car.
Right. So I was on a
And then go to the
walkie-talkie in
Strand.
the back of the
Right, shoot before
van.
they open.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
I was doing directing over walkie. It was my first direction to you was over walkie.
Oh my God. Yeah, it
And
was.
then we finished at the Strand. At
And Steve Gorell was driving, which his father is here. He's a terrifying driver. he was like the safe driver for us.
We had lots of great, but I'll say my favorite moment ever,
Yeah.
which is our favorite. You know, Jason Botash, who's the lead producer on this movie, who we adore, who's in Michigan with his universe of people showing the movie tonight. I said, you gotta make sure that every day play better be able to act. I'm gonna bring everyone I know,
Oh my
but if we ever have to hire a day play who I don't approve of, we gotta make sure that he can really act. So we had the super at the apartment in Harlem. He was like, I got the super. It's the real super from the building. He's good to go. He's Isaiah, and he can act. And everything we were doing was like, quick. Well, we got to work with Isaiah, and the whole
He just
truck
slowed
went off the
things
track.
down.
He just...
He literally walked in and Maggie's like, okay, hi Isaiah, and she's like, so listen, here's what I need you to do. You're the super of the building, so why don't you come in and maybe point out the bedroom, the kitchen, the window, the bedroom, kitchen, and the window. Is that what it was? And so literally he's like, okay. And he just literally walked. You can see it. It's in the film. He just walks in and just goes, bedroom. And Maggie's like, okay, cut. And he just goes. I laughed and was like, okay, well this is the best we're gonna get.
We had to give him marks, you know.
And him hitting a mark was just like.
But we laughed about that.
That was epic. When I saw that in the cut, I like almost collapsed.
Meanwhile, Jason is never doing any of the day plays.
Yeah, ever. Jason Botash, the producer, can do a lot of great things, but that's not one of them.
We have another good question.
I'm sure Chris does.
I've got plenty for you guys.
Do you have a question for him?
For Chris? What did it bother you at all that your character doesn't have a name? Because certain reporters have a real issue.
No, that was something I think we talked about really quickly early on. And no, it never bothered me. I think, we kind of had someone in mind for ourselves separately, and that was good enough for me. I mean, I never really thought twice about it. It was actually almost easier to not have a name. Because, that way when Rose or Jessica or Allison or Clark was talking to me, it was never like getting lost in that and then saying, what do you think, Isaiah? And I had to digest it. It was like, I just felt very natural. To me personally. What do you have anything going on right now, Maggie? Where's Jason Botash?
Jason, they're in Michigan. Yeah, he's on the phone. I do. My next film that I wrote is titled Dial a Prayer, and we're shooting it in Michigan. We start shooting March 10th.
All right.
I've read it. It's awesome. I read it and I'm like, man, she doesn't need me anymore.
Should we open it up?
Yeah, you guys, come on, ask away. Fire at will. Anyway, yeah, what's up?
I'd love to ask about your editing process.
Oh, great.
Did you personally spend a lot of time with your editors, and approximately how long did that take?
A long time. I was initially editing long distance over Skype at night, which can be challenging. So we had an editor in New York, and then we brought on an editor in LA. And this was not an easy film to start your career with because it's non-linear. It spans 5 years. It jumps around. There's a whole lot to figure out. So it definitely took some time, and I learned a lot of really valuable lessons about sort of letting go of what you write and what you shoot, and giving over to sort of what you end up with, and finding, the new story. I can't even remember what the original sequence.
I don't think it was non-linear originally.
Sure, of course it was.
Yeah, no.
Did you write it? Yeah, but no, I learned so much in it. I mean, I'm excited to go on to the next one now that I understand post more fully. Thank you, Erin. Yes, hi.
Hi, I'm curious about, I saw the original short that this is based on, and I was curious about it was so interesting seeing how those two related, and I could see aspects of the short in the feature. And I was wondering if you could talk a little bit and tell us, me, about how that kind of this feature came out of that.
Sure. I mean, we had Some Boys Don't Leave. We wrote together, and that film had a great life and a great festival run, and audiences responded. It was basically just this central breakup story in the hallway, and people from all different ages and backgrounds responded to that story. So we thought,
I didn't think there was
like
anything.
maybe
I don't know.
there's something here. So it was really an experiment. We gave ourselves, I think, 3 months to go in and try and figure out if we could make it a bigger story.
I think I said no at first.
Probably.
And no, because the short was just written on a whim, just like putting two people in a place and see what would happen. But yeah, once we got going, we could find a whole world and breathe new life into the characters. Everyone wanted to know where they came from and where they were going. And I liked it. I really liked that, like in the short, there's feet introduced for Ray and Lita,
Right.
and then they become huge characters, and there were a lot of like really fun to write.
Yeah.
Personally.
And Alex, who's here,
Yeah.
Ray, who's amazing. And hilarious.
Maggie, that was a great review of Variety.
Yes.
And I'm curious as to your plans. What are you going to do with the film next?
Great question, Dad. Here all week, and we would love it if you tell all your New York friends to come and see it on the big screen, because it does play so much better on the big screen. And it's available right now on every possible on-demand platform, iTunes, everything. And it's also playing in Los Angeles, it's playing in San Diego, Toronto, Portland,
Juneau.
Hollywood, Florida.
Juneau,
All your
Alaska.
friends in Alaska, you can tell them.
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. If you
Fort
go
Wayne,
on
Indiana.
Fort Wayne, Indiana. Our website, Brightest, has all the listings. So obviously a movie like this one, a little teeny tiny movie, for it to have a release is a wonderful